Okay.
Why hello everyone. Why hello everyone, and welcome back to the Anime Club.
Quick, someone talk over him again.
I will peek this mic. I'll peek it. With me is the great Lord Vorn.
I'm in the doghouse. Help me, please help me!
Realm Shifter.
Yawn.
And Seki.
Yay!
This week, or this last couple weeks, we've been watching Beastars Season 1.
I've never been so upset, charmed, and endeared by a show in my life.
It's upsetting. Are you saying it's upsetting how much you liked it?
No, the show itself is upsetting. But I also, So this was Realm's show.
Yes.
Realm, how do you feel about this show?
This one was, when I watched it, it was a journey for me. Yeah. Because I binged both seasons of it since they were both out at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a journey. But I enjoyed it, all things considered. So for me, this one isn't approved.
Okay. Vorn.
I can understand why people might like this. I did not.
Alright.
Is that a...
That's a meh.
Okay.
It's not shit!
Yeah.
You're lucky, but that's probably, like, as far as you were going to get was a meh.
Alright.
I mean, I liked it. I mean, it's hard for me to say much more than that, because it's simultaneously a higher key show and a lower key show at the same time, but it's kind of hard to ignore the elephant in the room here. This is definitely a furry anime.
This is why I say that it was upsettingly charming.
So, but I have to give it an approved. I liked the storytelling. The characters were really great, and overall, even the animation was on point here. I loved it.
Yeah, this is probably like one of the best 3D animated shows that I've seen.
So my opinions on this Zootopia ass fucking... I'm sorry, I'm kidding.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong, but I think the manga predates Zootopia.
I think it does, yeah. Also, it reminds me of... there's a whole nother webtoon that this resembles. I
think the correct term is that Zootopia is the Beastars ass.
Yes. Like, this is charmingly and disturbingly, upsettingly, like, okay. Like, I don't know how to feel about this show because I don't hate it, right? But also, furry. But at the same time, they didn't necessarily over-sexualize the animal designs. So, like, kudos? And I don't know if I can, like, give an award for, like, least sexualized furry art. But, like, that's what this show feels like.
Yeah, you could have...
Like, it's furries, but, like, we're not seeing, like, furries with, like, giant boobs and like bulges and like humping and shit all the time.
They're oddly normal people for being
furries. which makes me kind of wish that like it was just normal people.
But I don't think the story would work if you did normal people.
No, you'd have to rewrite a lot of it because a lot of it is based on
they do play into that.
A lot of it is based on the carnivore and herbivore dynamic.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know how to feel about. I mean, I think it's a meh. I think it's a meh for me. I think it's a meh for me, dog.
Alright.
It had a good OP.
Yeah, very good OP.
Very, very good, honestly.
Yeah.
The OP is something that I've never seen an OP before, in that it is a stop motion OP.
Yeah, that's so unique. I love that aspect of the OP.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, but you hate stop motion. You hate Nightmare Before Christmas.
I don't hate Nightmare Before Christmas. I've just never seen it in its entirety.
Yes, we tried to watch it together, and you told me to turn it off because you hated the animation.
It was rough. I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, you hated Nightmare Before Christmas, you monster.
I like the music. That's what I mean. I like the music of the Beastars OP. It's just the OP itself is upsetting.
I think it's creative, honestly, because it's nothing. It's not something that I've seen any other anime before it do. What?
No, that's valid. I agree. I think it's creative. He's probably really, really fucking good, you know? just upsets me on a visceral level, and I don't know why. I think it's because I've heard like a lot of.
I think
good
you're just
things.
upset that the show is furry.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it though, and I don't want to like take that away from it. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely good. Speaking of, in our normal vein, right? So this is done by Studio Orange.
Yes.
Studio Orange has some other.
They have quite a history here.
They did Black Bullet, which I know. They've done the recent they are doing the recent Trigun Stampede.
I believe they did Knights of Sidonia and Ajin, which are two ones that I know I've seen before.
It's
no, they
really
didn't.
interesting.
Did they not?
The quality.
Fam, they've done like almost nothing.
Oh.
They've done Majestic Prince, Black Bullet, Active Raid, Norn 9, Dimension W, Land of the Lustrous, Beastars Seasons 1 and 2, Godzilla Singular Point, Trigun Stampede, and Beastars Final Season is coming out in 2024.
Yeah, because I was going to say this animation style looks nothing like Ajin. Because Ajin would look a lot better, I think, if this studio actually did it.
Yeah, so this studio actually specializes in 3D CG animation. And that's what they're known for. So I guess that's something that they do like all over the place. Apparently, one of the CG animators who works here also worked on Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, which I'm a big fan of. This company also did outsourced 3D work for Heroic Age and Rail Wars.
I mean, I could say they do it well. This is a very stylized 3D animation, and it has an effect that I don't think you can get with 2D animation here, which is kind of the goal for 3D animation.
Yeah, so the dude who does the music is Satoru Kosaki, and he's done a lot of stuff. He actually did Lucky Star.
Oh, nice.
He also did Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, Bake Monogatari, The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, High School of the Dead, A-Channel, Nisei Monogatari, Neko Monogatari, Monogatari series, second season.
He did the Monogatari series.
Yes, he did the Monogataris and a bunch of other stuff. So he also did Vivi Fluorite Eyes song.
Yes.
And Aharon Sen wa Hakaranai, which I saw and I really enjoyed. So he's done a lot of stuff, like music-wise, and it's good. It's good. Actually, hearing that he done Lucky Star, I was like, oh, you know what? That tracks. Like the Lucky Star and Bake Monogatari. That tracks to this opening with the music.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. I think it's a good way. The director doesn't give me anything on Wikipedia. I don't think he's super well known.
You know what's funny about the OP?
What?
Every time I listen to it, I always swear, like, for a second there, I'd always hear the just one riff of the Cowboy Bebop OP in there. Like, if we were doing this on a blind challenge, if I didn't know better, I'd probably mistake the two.
So this is a shonen. It's also a completed manga series.
Yes,
So the manga series
is completed, actually.
Yeah, ran 2016 to 2020, 22 volumes. It's a completed series. So it's not ongoing anymore. And like I saw, they're doing the final season in 2024.
There is also a spin-off series to this manga as well. I forget what it's called, but you can probably find it on the Wikipedia. But that one is actually still ongoing. The author continued when it had it on a bit of a hiatus, I think, while they were still writing Beastars, and then they're now recontinuing it now that Beastars is completed.
Yeah.
Imagine.
So it takes place in the same universe as Beastars, but it doesn't follow the same cast.
Yeah, also, I remember when Beastars came out, like, this shit's super popular. People like this show.
Yeah.
Like, you know, regardless of our own opinions, this is one of the... Because there have been a few shows on the channel that we've watched that, like, have definitely been, like, big popular shows, right? Like, people really like them. This is one of those shows. I heard a lot about this when it was coming out, when the second season was coming out. Like, this OP is in every OP challenge we've ever done together. Like, this is not a small, weird show. This is huge.
Yeah.
People love this show.
Yeah, definitely one of the bigger shows to come out of the more recent seasonal batches.
And so I'm really happy that it's getting a final season in 2024.
A completed anime. Imagine that. What a concept.
And at less than 100 episodes, most likely.
Yeah.
It might even be less than 50.
Yeah.
Let's say they split the final season just into like 2 cores. You get out with under 50 for a completed anime.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that since Full Metal Alchemist Brother.
I know,
kidding.
right?
At least in my personal tastes. Because there definitely have been. I'm just making a joke about my long-running
I mean,
shonen.
but these don't run to your personal taste.
This is a shonen,
True.
which is my personal taste.
This is a shonen, but it's a very different kind of shonen.
It was published in Shonen Champion Weekly Comics.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes, like I'm not saying it. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to say it's not a shonen, but it's a very different kind of shonen.
yeah.
It's interesting. I'm sure we'll get into this more in the story section, but this is kind of a weird, like, it's very slice of life, but at the same time, they do have their, like, little shonen battle moments in there.
True. I would like to make the comment. Do you know what's published in the same magazine as this?
Fairy Tail?
No. Yowamushi Pedal, Saint Seiya, and one of the Lupin the Thirds are serialized in the same magazine as this. Also, Demon School Iruma-kun, serialized all in the same shonen magazine. Which is pretty cool, actually, because I know of all of I mean, there's a bunch more that I've not heard of, but, like, I know of all of those. I'm a fan of a couple of those. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, that's pretty fucking cool. It's so weird to, it's sometimes it's just weird to, like, be reviewing stuff that's actually big and popular, to be honest.
Yeah.
To, like, not a niche community like Fate or something. It makes me feel a little bit bad about saying bad things about it, because obviously a lot of people like it, you know?
Here's the thing, that you're saying all this, but I'm not hearing a lot of bad things. I'm just hearing that you're just not comfortable with the furry sort of aesthetic.
Yeah, I don't love the aesthetic of it. That's my problem. I think, and for me, visuals is a lot, you know? Like,
That's surprising, honestly, coming from you.
well, it's interesting, right? Because we've discussed this before, right? Animation quality doesn't necessarily matter to me because I like OG One Piece, I like OG Naruto, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I mean, y'all remember when I first started watching One Piece, I dropped it because I hated the art style. It looked so bad.
You're big on character design.
Yeah, I didn't used to like Dragon Ball because I hated the fucking character design. I still can't watch the fucking what's the pre JoJo? Whatchamacallit?
No.
Like the 96?
Fist of the North Star.
Fist of the North Star. Not actually pre JoJo, but like
Same aesthetic style.
yeah, I fucking hate Fist of the North Star. You know? Like, something about character designs just gets to me sometimes. Like, I either like it or I don't, and that's a really big thing for me, because I don't necessarily, like, put stuff on in the background or in dubs. I do watch the sub a lot of the time.
But we also know with persistence, you tend to get over that with shows.
I do. I think, actually, that might be a detriment to the show being so short in total. So, like, it took me, like, a while to get used to, like, the one... Like, I didn't start liking the One Piece art style until, like, post Logtown, you know? Like, it took a long time for me to be okay with that, you know? Same thing with Dragon Ball. Like, long shows in that respect, I can get over disliking initially art in longer stuff because there's more of it and I just get used to it. But in shorter shows, it remains like a thorn in my side, you know what I mean? So in some aspects, that's both good and bad. This is a shorter show. A lot of people like it because they're not having to watch 300 episodes of this show. Like, the story moves at a good pace, but I also don't have enough time for me to kind of get used to the aesthetics of it. And it's just so different.
And the problem is, it's not just a matter of aesthetic. This is pretty integral to the story.
Yeah, it's like a major part. And the thing is, I get it, like, it's well done.
It's like one of the more creative takes on this kind of concept I've seen before.
Yeah, like, it's so well done. I feel a lot about how I feel like Puella. You know? Where, like, I get that this is a good show, it is well done, but something about it is just not in my alley.
Well, Puella was easy to identify as it's just fucked up.
In this case, it's very easy to tell, and it's the furry aesthetic.
Yeah, it's definitely the furry aesthetic and the whole carnivore, herbivore.
I guess on that note, you also gave Puella an approved off pure aesthetic or artistic value.
I did. The reason why I'm giving this a meh is because I don't like the story as much as I liked Puella.
Fair. Puella was also a very self-contained story unlike this. This is like, we're getting the first arc of at least 3 or 4.
Yeah. And honestly, I didn't like certain elements. I thought that the show was fine overall, but I just didn't necessarily like some parts of it. So I can't in good faith give it an approved.
Fair enough.
If I compare it to the way that I approved of Puella. Which aesthetic, like if this was based on aesthetics or something, right? Like maybe I just don't like the character design, stuff like that. I'd give this an approved because I know that it's popular and I know that it's well done. But unfortunately, there were just a few things in the story that I'm also not a huge fan of.
And that'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to the story section so you can elaborate on that. Not that I'm challenging you here, because I get it if you don't care for it. Vorn here doesn't care for it either, but I can fully understand this is entirely the furry thing with Vorn.
Oh, yes.
And Vorn doesn't have Vorn didn't give Puella an approved off artistic merit.
That's true. I'm honestly surprised, Realm, that you were into this. Like not gonna lie, I mean,
because here's the thing for me, when I went into this, I was first hesitant to because of the furry aesthetic, but I looked past it. Basically, like the furry aesthetic was not something that I really consider into my rating, because I kind of just, even though there is aspects of this that do play on it a little bit, it's not something that
You might want to cut.
that was my app. Yeah. Anyways,
I don't know. It's just surprising.
like I was saying, it's not something that played into my factoring of this show, really. Like, even though it was part of the story, it's not something that I really considered it to be, because I kind of just, even though these characters, like, they have their designs, like, I just view them as human, even though they're animals. If that makes sense.
I mean, I understand that, but I have trouble doing that myself because the fact that they're animals is such a...
It's important. I gotta say, with these characters, though, I did feel that
they're very anthropomorphized, though, so it's relatively easy to just kind of...
The animal part's integral to the story and the setting, but in terms of the actual character writing, which I'm sure we'll get into more, they felt more human than a lot of anime characters, to be honest.
Yeah, flawed and fucked up and, having issues. That's fair. That's fair. I think that's a fair judgment.
Vorn, you got any comments? Oh, yeah, you go ahead.
Oh, yeah, sorry. If you were to convert to humans, what would you actually use to replace the animal tendencies then?
Well, I think the easiest replacement there would be class difference.
Yes.
Like money.
Yeah.
Most likely, like you'd have rich people and poor people.
Yeah, and then it's very easy, like, considering that, like, things like the Shishigumi still exist within the universe.
Yeah.
You could switch it around, but at the same time, I feel like because
I think you'd have to really alter some stuff. I think you could switch it to a kind of like economic split between like poor and rich, and then restructure the show that way. But you would still have to change a lot of stuff.
I feel like
don't think you would need to do it like in terms of poor and rich, like classism.
Yeah, but what would you switch the conflict to between these two types of people?
And then
racism.
Okay, but anime doesn't usually tackle...
doesn't usually tackle that. And then also the problem is that it kind of ruins the character dynamic between Legoshi and Haru.
Yeah, I don't think... If you're considering the characters, right, and the changes you're making, Vorn, while racism may seem like the easiest option of how to, like, kind of switch it up, it would be the hardest to do, because you would have to completely change the dynamic between our two main characters. Like, completely.
Yeah,
economically, it's much easier for those two, even if you'd have to change more in the greater world setting. You wouldn't have to change as much between the two characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I think here you'd want to focus on whatever change you made would want to be the one that affects the characters least, because the characters have a lot of good writing for them.
But I also think part of what makes this show work is the simplicity that comes with the very simple concept of the animals.
Yeah, it's also it's very Animal Farm at times, and that's not a bad thing.
Honestly, the easiest way, I think, like, and I don't mean this to, like, disparage fans. I personally think this is great the way it is. Like, the easiest way to, like, not weird out people like Seki and Vorn would probably be to just not make them anthropomorphized.
Yeah, just make them actual animals.
Yeah, but I also don't know if I'd want that personally. I think I like the show the way it is. I'm not looking to have it changed or have it redone at all.
I don't think I'd want to watch this if it was just animals, to be honest. At least the whole anthropomorphized thing is... what's the word I'm looking for? Intriguing in its premise. I think that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know? Like even if you're not into it, you're still like, I kind of want to know what it's about. I kind of want to know how it is.
The author did a good job of taking that and not just making it, oh, they're anthropomorphized. It's there. No, this is like an integral part of the world. Like, this is the lore of the world.
Yeah, I would also just like to applaud him for just not overtly sexualizing his animal designs.
This is actually a female author.
I would like to applaud her for not overtly sexualizing the animal designs. That is, in my opinion, the best part of the show.
I don't know, man. Rui.
Well, we're gonna be back to talk about
I
characters.
think we should get into characters and story at this point, honestly.
Try harder if you want.
Thanks for watching.